Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City. In a previous video, I shared my interior detailing and some minor changes I did for the LEGO Expert Creator set, the Corner Garage, set 10264. If you missed out that video, check out the link in the card above or in the description below. In this video, I'm going to share with you the plans for the major changes of how to transform this corner garage into a corner cafe and hotel. And this is a complete transformation in terms of the business and function of the build, but not so much the exterior build or the structure itself. Now, this may be useful for you if you do not intend to have a garage in your LEGO city. Or maybe your LEGO city does not have the space to put a build like this where cars can enter from one side and enter on the other side to be serviced by the gas pump. Or maybe you just want something different. So this video might be helpful to you. I'll be focusing on the exterior elements, how to add and change certain things to create this transformation. I won't be focusing on the interior, although I'll be sharing with you some of my plans. I will complete the interior further down the road and I'll do a separate video then. The reason I came up with the idea of transforming this into a corner cafe and hotel was because I wanted to place this into the main section of Small Brick City, which is Brick Beach, a tourist beach. So I needed a hotel. And I thought this works really well as a hotel because this entrance over here, even though I don't have roads in Small Brick City or this section of Small Brick City, this forms a very nice entranceway to a hotel. Many hotels have a grand entrance with an awning just like this. So when I first saw this, that was my immediate thought. The garage on the side will be changed into a cafe. So that will be the entrance of the cafe, and the ground floor, which is currently the garage, will be divided into two. One will be the hotel reception, maybe a hotel manager's office if there's space, and this entire section all the way down would form the cafe. The second and third floors would of course be the hotel rooms, and the access would be the same. So there's no major change in terms of the structural design. There may be some division inside to create rooms and such, but overall, most of the changes are done to the exterior to create the difference in the look so that you can tell it is a hotel and a cafe right from the start. And honestly, when I first saw the set, it did remind me of the Corner Cafe, the very first expert modular building from LEGO. And I thought it would be pretty cool if I can pay homage to that set by incorporating many of those iconic elements into this build. So let's get started, and I intend to show you the changes in real time. The first thing we have to do is to remove all these little vehicles. The scooter, we won't need that, and we won't need that, and I'll take this out of the way for now. We also do not need this sign, so I'm going to take that away, and I'll also take this sign away. So for the main entrance here, you want to create some kind of a sign, a 3D sign, or some kind of any kind of a symbol that you might expect to find for a hotel. You could do a brick built sign if you like of a name of the hotel, depending what the hotel name is, or you could put something iconic. So just for simplicity, an idea I had is to put some kind of statue. So if you have a monument or statue, you could place this, and let me take this out, maybe place it somewhat like that. And this is just an initial idea. I won't be using this specific monument simply because this comes from my town square, but to give you an idea of how you can transform the look. And of course you would have to remove the gas tank, and I'll remove that over here. And you could probably add some flowers or shrubs over here if you like. Or maybe this could be a valet station if you happen to have cars, accept cars. But in my case, since I don't have roads, I won't be using cars. So I'll probably put some kind of flowers or shrubs over here. The original garage section of the build will become the cafe. And if you like, you can retain these elements if you have a motor themed cafe. If not, I would suggest removing all this and you'd change this up to something else so that if you like, you can still keep these garage doors, because it does make sense to have a shutter if it's closed and to keep it wide open when it's open, right? When the business hours are opened. But you need to change this to something else just to blend in with the decor. Of course, the tiling for the inside will be completely different. You'd have to add in tables, chairs, a bit of a kitchen as well. I'm not going to go into details of the design of the interior right now because I'm talking about the exterior concept. But you will need a sign. And what I had planned is to use this sign over here. And this is actually the one from the Assembly Square. Or it's a replica of the sign for the cafe from the Assembly Square, which is supposed to replicate the sign from the original corner cafe, but this is a much simpler build. And I replicated the build. I did create an additional bracket, and that's so that I can mount this over here, just like that. And now you have a corner cafe right here above, and people know that's a cafe. For the vet sign over here, you'd obviously remove this and change it for a plain glass plate. Now you need something to suggest this is a hotel. The corner cafe came with a brick-built sign that looks just like this. So I thought I wanted to do a replica of the sign, again, just to pay tribute to the original set. And I thought it'd be quite cool to put it on the side of the building because this is a nice sign for the hotel. In the original design for this sign, it was placed on the right side of the build as you see it in the camera. But obviously this is the cafe and the entrance to the hotel is on this side, because in the original corner cafe the entrance was on the right as you see it. So it makes sense for this sign to be on this side of the build, somewhere here or somewhere here. I would say it makes much more sense to be on this side here. However, this is an issue. The way this was designed and built, you'd have to flip it this way. Now, in a sense, this sign is two-sided, but if you read it from this side, you can tell it is reversed because the E and the L are in the wrong direction. Ideally, you want it to be placed here. But notice this part is tiled and this is where the plates are. So if you want to connect it to the build, it has to be done this way. So this is what you have to do. You have to look for the instructions for the corner cafe and look for the instructions and parts to build this particular sign. And I did it by modified it in several ways. I modified it by reversing the way it was built. And really what I did was reverse these two, the E and the L, so that on this side it will be shown properly. What I did was actually to switch it around. You do have to reverse some of the techniques. The only additional part I had to add in was this 1x8 plate, and that's to hold it together, and I'll show you the reason. Because of the build technique, there's just one part which has tiles and you need to hold the tiles together, and if you don't have a plate overlapping at the back, there's no way these tile pieces can be placed in, and that's just the way the brick built sign works. You can't do it any other way, but it's perfectly fine because you still need to attach this to the side of the wall using modified bricks, so it's perfectly fine. I did change a bit of the sides. I added round tiles just to give it a bit more texture. I felt this looked a bit too old school or too rundown. I felt this had a bit more design, so I added the curvature, and I also added a little flagstaff at the top. So that's the original, at least in this way, and this is the one I created. So you can create a similar sign adopting the sign from the original corner cafe, and now you need to mount it over here. Now there's a little trick that you have to do, nothing too major. Originally I was just going to put modified bricks here, and I'm still going to do that, and I wanted to place this sign here, but notice the roof over here. Because of this piece over here, there's no way I can place the roof, so I have to extend it out just by a bit, and that's pretty simple. You could use bricks, but if you just use, let's say, one long 1x8 brick, it can look very thick and a bit ugly. So I thought of just using Technic bricks like this, with a hole. You can use regular 1x2 bricks, but I chose to do this because then it looks more like some kind of a stand or a holder or a bracket to hold it in place. So that's how this particular sign will be mounted, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to remove this over here, and I'm going to replace two of the 1x1 bricks with these 1x1 modified bricks with studs on the side. So let's do that now. And here we have the completed hotel sign for the corner hotel, and I think it matches well with everything in terms of the look of the front of the hotel, with some kind of monument on the awning for the driveway to this sign right here. What do you think? Let me know what you think about these changes. So that's the basic additions I would add for this. One thing I would do also would be to switch this door and make these two doors the main entrance and this just be glass. So let's lift off the first two floors and we'll have a look at the ground floor, and we'll just discuss how we could possibly divide the interior so that it can be a cafe and the hotel lobby. Here's a look at the ground floor with the second and third levels removed, and we'll zoom in just a bit so that we can see inside very clearly. So this is the main entrance to the hotel. So here's the entranceway. As mentioned, I would change these two doors. So obviously you would have to remove all the interior in terms of the different elements of the garage. This would be the main entrance. Therefore, to me, the natural divider for the cafe would basically be along this line. You want to build up a wall or some kind of barrier, or you could have at least part of the wall, so you could have an entrance into the cafe through the hotel or from the outside main entrance here. So there's quite a bit of space that you can work with. You can have a kitchen at the back here, or maybe just a counter at the side. If you're doing a cafe, you could have a barista's counter over here with all the equipment, some tables all around, and then some clear access for people to get through to the back door as well. This area would probably be big enough for just the hotel lobby. You can create a reception at the back over here underneath the steps. So that's where the concierge or the hotel reception would be. Not much room for really a full concierge or separate concierge counter and a manager's office. Maybe you could have a concierge counter here where the cash register is and have the check-in counter here. You'd actually have to experiment when you actually build it up, but at least you would have a proper hotel lobby and then entrance to the cafe. And of course, if people do want to go up to the rooms, they would have to go to the outside and to come up. Or you could remove this privacy barrier which I built. This doesn't come with the original set, so actually this will be clear, so people technically could just go up the stairs directly from the lobby as well, which makes sense. So that's how I would divide up the interior to serve the hotel lobby as well as the cafe. Here's a look at the interior of the second floor, which is originally the vet's office. So I would keep the same structure. You do not want to change too much around. I would remove obviously all these equipment for the vet's office and clear it out. There's a fish tank that's built into this wall over here that would have to go, and I'll make that solid as well so they can't see in, or you could have a window if you like as well. But basically the way I'll divide it, this door would be the hotel room door. I would change it from glass to an opaque door, or one of the standard opaque doors with the window. The bed will be on this side over here, and I'll put in a bed like this maybe, and that will be put in. And this section here would be the small toilet and the shower. So this would be kind of a common area for the hotel. It could be a place, a recreation area. A lot of smaller hotels might have these common spaces, so that makes sense. So people who was living on the second or the third floor would actually go through this common area. So yes, it's a very tiny hotel, much like the corner cafe. There's only room for just 2 rooms. This is the third floor, and I would keep the same proportion once again, but what I'll do is I'll build a wall here, dividing this section in 2 and having a door. So it's kind of similar to the second floor. This will be another common area. So maybe you could put the TV here for everyone to share. and that leaves access to the roof, which everyone can access. And in terms of the division, it'll be the same. The bed would be here. I'll probably take out the kitchenette, expand the toilet a bit to put in a shower. This is the original roof of the build. What I would do is to add in some recreational features here. You could put in a ping pong table, although you'll be losing a lot of balls flying off the roof. But I think I'll put in a pool. That means I'll have to move this around to create space, and I'll add in an air conditioning unit or compressor if I can. So let's do that now. So here's a simple recreational pool added into the top with some rearrangement of the deck chair, the umbrella, and the little flower bed here. I've added in an air conditioning compressor unit here as well. This particular pond, I guess, or in this case a pool, came from the town plan set, so I'm recycling it. But there are many different creator sets which come with swimming pools, or you could easily build one yourself. It can be grey or white, and you just add in blue tiles or blue plate if you like. And there you have now a rooftop swimming pool. I hope you enjoyed this look at how to transform the corner garage into a corner hotel and cafe. What do you think of the overall changes, and is this something that appeals to you? And if you didn't intend to get the corner garage before, would you like to get it now if you can implement these changes? I must say, after getting this set, I was really impressed with the corner garage itself. In terms of the ground floor garage, I like the moving parts, I like the layout, and I've decided to actually keep it now. So I'm no longer going to put this set in the Brick Beach section of Small Brick City. I'm going to move it to Metro City. However, I'm still keeping the hotel element. So the second, third floor and the roof will be changed as I have shown. I'm going to move up the vet. He's going to move to the second floor of the pet shop, and the apartment is going to be a hotel room. So the second floor is going to be the hotel room, and the waiting area of reception for the vet's office will be converted into the hotel lobby. So that's where my hotel reception will be, and so you'd go up if you want to check in. The first room will be behind the hotel reception, and the second room will be on the third floor, and there'll be access to the roof as I've shown. I will retain all of this to the original, so these two signs will likely be changed. I might see if I can put some kind of sculpture or figure on this side. I haven't really decided, but I will work on that, and when I complete it, I will show you my completed build, which will be a corner garage / hotel. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.